Hello, and welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So, what's your family language? This is one that I have never thought about, but we do on a daily basis all the time when we interact with other people. And sometimes it's a double edged sword because our family language is a language that we're used to expressing our emotions in a way that our family has taught us how. Again, doesn't mean it's healthy or unhealthy. It just means we're at the point where we were taught this thing, how to communicate. We come out of the womb, we go into this house, we're around these people, we listen to how they speak, how they energetically interact, how they avoid each other, how they don't avoid each other, how they fix issues, how they don't fix issues, right? We take all this in and we create a language. And then we take this language and we go out into the world and we try to talk to other people. Now, yes, we might be speaking the same language as linguistics as far as speaking English, right? Or speaking Spanish or another language to like tribe, but it doesn't mean that we have the same family language. This is one that happened with me and my friend. I think they would laugh about it knowing after the story was told, but again, nothing negative. My family, I didn't realize growing up, my mom was an evangelist, my stepdad was a pastor, but there's a certain way evangelists and pastors speak. Not knowing this, me and all my brothers speak the same way. We all are very, what people call eloquent, and we're very spiritual, and we're very deep in thought, and this is how we express ourselves. And some of that's education, but most of it is just upbringing and how our mother talked and how our stepdad talked and how our family communicated, and we just, that voice became our voice, right? My friend, my best friend, who I love, they come from a family where it's all jokes. Everybody tells jokes. In good times, bad times, death, birth, doesn't matter. It's jokes. And sometimes, you don't know when other people are not used to someone who has a joking personality, right? So sometimes they can make a situation that might feel heavy into a joke because that's how they lighten the mood. In your family, and my family, we go spiritually deep into it to figure out why we feel this way, and then we feel resolved because we emotionally got it out. I laugh at this because I'm a guy, she's a female, but she's way more masculine energy than me, and I'm much more feminine energy than her. And we talk about it all the time because it helps us learn this world, right? They're experiencing the world in one way as a woman who is very, very feminine in appearance, but very masculine in how she approaches the world, how she dedicates her life to her work and everything, and she gets it done. But she's that logical brain, and so it all goes to putting energy into getting things done. I'm an emotional being, so for me it's all about feeling and thinking and working through it, and so making sure it never happens again. But when those two worlds come together, it can feel like one person is trying to blame and the other person is trying to shut down, when that's not the truth. It's just their family language. Where in my family, we'd sit down and talk about it, and her family, they would joke about it and let it go, right? Doesn't mean either one is wrong, but what happens in this situation and what can become an issue is that you both start feeling like the other one can't hear you or they're not listening to you. And then one or the other can start shutting down. And you don't want that to happen, especially in a genuine friendship and genuine relationships and connections. You want to make sure that you can hear that person. And so for both of us, we're both, and I've been telling people, I am reactionary when it comes to people I love. People I don't know, I can be responsible all day, see what they're saying. People I love, they can get to me a little bit faster because I'm vulnerable, my shields are down. And so when they say something that throws me off, I get triggered too. Being an emotional intelligence and spiritual teacher does not mean that I don't experience the same stuff. I am still a human. So for me, understanding that we both get mad fast, but we both calm down fast, and then we both apologize fast. It's a lot to take in, but at the same time, that's why our friendship works on a soul level, because we have similar soul energies, right? We both understand we're from the same tribe. So when you're from the same tribe, you're going to have similar energies. And then when you understand that you have the same soul tribe energy, it's easier to bypass your family language and not get caught up in how they sound and how you sound and how you should have said it and how they would have said it. Because this looks like someone say, well, don't say it that way, say it this way. And you're like, why? Well, it can make someone feel this way. Well, Possibly, but also that is something that they were possibly taught. And in your family, saying it that way means absolutely nothing, and it's funny and no one cares, right? So it really is all about learning the different languages emotionally that you've been taught and didactically, and then allowing yourself to spiritually, emotionally go out into the world and connect with those who match your energy. This is how we call in Soul Tribe. This is how we figure out if we're in an energy that is, again, taking away from something that's sticking us in a box. I've heard a lot of people say, that's how I am, that's how I was raised, that's how I talk. That's fine, but it's keeping you in a box. And if enough energies around you are saying, you're rubbing us all the wrong way, just go reflect on it. It doesn't mean you have to change today, but go reflect on why so many energies are telling you, hey, you need to check that. Because if you don't check it, then it's going to always sound like, again, you're being a combative person, or you're being angry, or you're being someone who's looking for sympathy versus empathy, and it's becoming this big old cry fest, right? You want to understand who you are and how to listen to the languages that we speak, because there's so many languages we speak. It's not just English, okay? And it's not just Spanish or, other languages. You get what I'm trying to say. There's so many different ways that we express ourselves, especially emotionally, especially facial expressions and all these things. So again, learning these things in accordance with your base root language, which is your family language, will remind you and teach you that just because you know it and you speak it doesn't mean it's always correct or incorrect. It just means you're going to have to adjust it so that you're malleable with others' interactions, and that you now have a cohesive way of communicating and walking through this life without too much conflict. It's going to happen, but when you learn how to walk around others' languages and operate within your own without changing it up too much, you learn how to communicate better. Because again, what it looks like when you don't communicate is, well, you talk this way and you talk this way, and you're both like trying to talk at each other. You're like, they're not hearing me. But all they're seeing is how you express, and how you're seeing is how they express. And then you sometimes get lost in translation. So communicate on every level and love yourself through the process. I hope that makes sense. Love you. Mwah.